Hey everyone, it's Laura Myers for CMS-Connected. Today, DNN announced an assortment of new channels and liquid content, the omni-channel publishing system central to its Evoq CMS. And here with me to dive into the details of these new capabilities is Will Morgenweck, the Vice President of Product Management at DNN. Hello Will, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Laura. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. So let's start off with you telling us the top 3 tangible benefits of the new liquid content channels that are available in Evoq 9.1.
All right, yeah, it's something we're pretty excited about. With liquid content, this is something that we introduced later last year, and we've got some new features that are coming with this release that we're coming out with next week. And with the new features, we have the ability now to take content that you may be using on your website, you may be posting to Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, and make it very easy for you to push that content out right from the application. So whether you created that content for your website or you created it for your mobile app, it's all in one location. It's very easy for you to manage to push it out. So that's the first part of the multi-channel publishing. So with that release, we're able to push your content to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and then probably the second part of that is the REST API that goes along with it. So what's really cool about it is that now you can start to create content, and that content doesn't have to really exist anywhere yet other than just creating it and storing it in the system. And then from there, you can use the REST API to pull that content out or push it out to other channels, such as mobile apps or let's say like an Apple TV or kiosks, or even one of the other examples that we're going to be highlighting in our launch webinar is connecting to an Alexa. And then probably the third piece is that analytics has to go along with that, right? So as you're starting to push this content out, you want it to be like one single piece of content and be able to see how that one single piece of content is being used across all these other channels, so that you don't have to worry about duplicating it or having extra copies of that content and then having to aggregate all that information together. You use one piece of content, you can create variants of that content, and then it all ties back into one single analytics source.
I really like that analytics element, as I'm sure that's going to save people a ton of time.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty important because a lot of times as you're starting to create that content and pushing it out, you just want to get a nice summary of how's it. A lot of times if you're using that content on your website, that's pretty easy today. But if you're looking at it in your mobile app or Facebook and Twitter, you've got to aggregate all that data. Now we can give it all to you in one location.
And to circle back to the comment about Alexa, I saw that you guys developed a new Alexa skill for the Amazon Echo. So tell me about how that came to be and its functionality with liquid content.
Yeah, it's something that we started to work with our own API, and we were just trying to really think of what are some cool ways that people are going to be interacting with content in the future. And of course, with Alexa and Google Home and the Microsoft Cortana and of course Apple Siri, these are all ways that we're interacting with content today and using our voice to start to explore content. So traditionally, as we've been delivering content to the web, we're talking about HTML and things like that. But when you're talking about the Amazon Alexa, that's the same type of content. And so what we wanted to be able to do is demonstrate how we can keep that content in its rawest form and allow you to transform it to those other channels. And one of those channels could be Amazon Alexa, so you can query it and get information back.
The ability to work with these modern channels is a great way to set the platform up for success in the future. How does it change things for marketers currently, though, and how do you think it's going to change the effectiveness of content as a whole?
Well, I think one of the things marketers are having a challenge with today is the amount of content that they're having to create and then the amount of different channels that they're having to distribute it to. So with us, with liquid content, we want to give you that area where you can create your content and keep track of your content, and then also know that as these different channels and devices are popping up, that you're going to have a system that's going to be able to scale with you as you're trying to choose these different channels. I mean, obviously, maybe Amazon Alexa is not going to be for every single company that's out there, but those companies that are trying to talk to consumers and they want to be able to have one content repository and have some consistency across their content, that's why we're kind of positioning it that way.
DNN is definitely showcasing their forward thinking with this release, that much is certain. Well, that's all my questions, Will. Thank you so much. Your answers have been very clarifying and thoughtful.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
That was Will Morgenweck, the Vice President of Product Management at DNN, giving us the inside details of the new liquid content channels announced with the availability of Evoq 9.1. For all the latest releases, make sure you check back in often with us at CMS-Connected.